Thank you.
It's okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Rajesh. Nice. Rather than sitting inside, we thought of coming outside. But is everybody comfortable outside? ज़्यादा धूप तो नहीं लग रही है ना? Do you want to go back inside? No. Huh? Are you all sure? Okay. Because I was just wondering if it's too hot, then we can change before we start. We'll let people settle down and we'll kick off. So before we begin, I would like to thank Dilip Prabhu and Reshu Mataji for inviting all of us on the birthday of Arya and I keep forgetting your name. Arya and? Adhya. So it's a very, very auspicious day. Birthday, actually we call appearance day. Appearance day का मतलब we appear and disappear. जन्म और मृत्यु चलते रहती है. So it's an appearance day in from a Vaishnav calendar perspective. So many Krishna conscious birthday to both of you. So I'll quickly introduce myself. Dilip Prabhu and myself, we were working together. I'm his Nokia, I was NBN, and we have few NBN colleagues over here. Ramil and Prabhu and Abhishek Prabhu and Meenakshi Mataji. A lot of people we have worked together. So I've got few connections back, and I'm sure other people have been working in the same IT world and similar industries. So my name is Ojasvi Das. I have been in Melbourne for just around 25 years. I have been practicing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita for almost 20 years now. I'm a student of Bhagavad Gita. So I learn Bhagavad Gita, and whatever I understand, I try to pass the message of Bhagavad Gita because it has benefited me quite a lot. And Krishna says, whatever benefits you, pass it on, right? So this is what I try to do in my free time as a hobby. So they say, small minds discuss people. Average mind discuss events, and great minds discuss the topics of God. So who remembers what I just said? Let's do a quick test. For IT wale, penetration testing. What did we just spoke? Small mind discuss? People. Average mind discuss? Events. And great mind discuss? God. The topics of God. Right? So what we will do, as and when, we'll do a quick test. We'll have a quick recap. So I request all of you to pay attention. We'll have a 45 minutes discussion on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and then we'll understand कि आपको क्या समझ में आया है, and then we can take it further from there. But before I begin, I'll offer a small prayer, and then we'll kick off today's discussion on the topic of God. Is that okay? Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chashkul Ulmintena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Etanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirveshesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Loudest. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Dilip Prabhu, thank you so much once again. Devotees live not in houses. Devotees live in bhavan. Bhavan का क्या मतलब होता है? Bhavan can be broken down into two words. Bha means Bhagwan. Devotees keep Bhagwan in the center. Bha means bhakti. Bha represents bhav. Bha represents Bhagavad Gita. So devotees, where they live, they keep Bhagwan and the teachings of Bhagwan in the center of their life. And that is the reason devotees are called as Bhakta. हम भक्त बोलते हैं, right? भवन का दो पार्ट है. Bha means we just spoke, and one means forest. People in forest live a very simple life, correct? One का क्या मतलब है? Forest. And people in one live a very simple life. So the teachings of Bhagavad Gita inspires us to live in bhavan, where you are living and following the teachings of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam and living a very simple life which is based on high thinking. So simple living and high thinking. That is the motive of living a happy life. So today we will talk on simple living, high thinking, an easy way to be happy. Right? How many of you constantly want to be happy? Please be honest and raise your hands. We all constantly want to be happy, but we are not constantly happy, correct? Please be honest with yourself. We are not constantly happy. We want to be constantly happy, but we are not constantly happy. Why? So there are 4 sutras or 4 pillars, we call 4 sutras or 4 pillars to live a simple life which is based on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. A very, very simple way, a very profound way of living. The first sutra of living a simple life is love without expecting. Second is speak without offending. Third is live without pretending. And fourth is hear without defending. So what are the 4 sutras? Let's do a quick test. Recap. What is the first sutra? Love without. Thank you, Meenakshi Mataji. Second. Speak without offending. Third. Hear without defending. Fourth. Live without pretending. So these are the very 4 pillars. If we can implement these 4 pillars in our life will definitely change. Do we agree with these 4 pillars? Will these 4 pillars help us? Right? Love without expecting. What does that mean? Expectation is the root cause of all the miseries. When we expect something in life and when we don't get it, what happens? Frustration. What else? Disappointment. Expectation से क्या problem होता है? Anger. Thank you for being honest. Anger. Hare Krishna Mataji. Oh, Jai. Some known faces. Right? Where does expectation come from? Attachment. So attachment leads to expectation and expectation leads to frustration. The first sutra is love without expecting. Right? Bhagavad Gita teaches us that love should be unconditional, unmotivated and uninterrupted. Savai pumsa paro dharma yato bhaktir adhokshaje. ahituki apravita ye yatavam suprasiddhate. He says, love should be unconditional, unmotivated, and uninterrupted. The love of a mother towards the son or daughter is as close as this. Am I right? All the mothers can vouch for it, right? Your love is unmotivated, mothers, uninterrupted. You don't get paid 24/7, but your love is unmotivated, uninterrupted, right? This is what Bhagavad Gita teaches us, how to love unmotivatedly. The easiest way to be happy in life is to accept current situation and lower your expectation. What is the easiest way to be happy in life? Accept your current situation and lower your expectation. Do we all agree? If we just work on these two things, अभी की जो परिस्थिति है जीवन में, if you can accept that paristhiti, the circumstances, the situation which you are in, accept that and lower your expectation, do you believe our life will change? Please be honest, yes or no? So paristhiti बदलना जरूरी है या मनस्थिति बदलना जरूरी है? मनस्थिति. Problem परिस्थिति में है या मनस्थिति में? मनस्थिति में. What do we try to change? Thank you. Thank you so much. Right? So to change the manasthiti, that means we have to lower our expectation. The moment we lower our expectation and the moment we accept a current situation, our life's dimensions and dynamic will change. Right? In any relationship, when you say sorry to someone, that doesn't mean that you are necessarily wrong, but you value the person in that relationship more than your own thought process. Many times we say sorry, no? just to move on. So many times when we say sorry, that doesn't mean necessarily we are wrong, but we mean that we value the relationship more than our own being right or wrong. They say when you say sorry, when a man says sorry when he's wrong, he's honest. When a man says sorry when he's not sure, he's called wise. And when a man says sorry even when he's right, he's called husband. Right? Correct? He's called husband. All the husbands are happy. We were just discussing the meaning of husband means hasna band. Right? Husband, hasna band, right? So if you live a life in such a way where the expectations are reduced, and if you can accept the current circumstances of our life, automatically the happiness quotient of your life increases dynamically. Right? It's not statically, dynamically it will increase. So Bhagavad Gita emphasizes on living a life which is much simple and with least expectation. They say, मैंने जिंदगी कुछ इस तरह जी ली, कभी किसी को माफ कर दिया और कभी किसी से माफी मांग ली. Just by forgiving others, the weight in the heart, the weight in the mind, you become much lighter. Do we all agree? We have so many people in our mind and in our thoughts where people are unable to forgive them. In ISKCON, we have forgiveness workshops. We have forgiveness workshops. And when people come out of that forgiveness workshop, they have tears in their eyes during the workshop and towards the end of the workshop, because they carry so much of weight in their heart and in their mind against people who don't even care about them, who don't even value them. So the first principle of living happy in life is, what is the first principle? Love without expecting. Somehow or another, if we can reduce our expectations from people, automatically life changes. Now you may ask, काम पे भी ऐसा करे क्या? If you're a manager, Abhishek Prabhu is a manager, Meenakshi Mataji is a manager. If we reduce our expectation, how do we deliver? I work as a project manager, right? No. We need to understand where to do what. Where to do what. And Bhagavad Gita teaches us the right dharma. Right? So, it is a fine art of reducing expectation when you have to reduce and accepting the expectation when you have to accept the expectation. So then, the next important thing comes, how do we live a life like this? How do we live a life which is less of expectation and more of loving others? When we understand that everybody, every living entity is part and parcel of the Lord, then automatically we will have a tendency of accepting them and forgiving them. You know, khate, have you ever bitten your tongue? Can you be honest? Huh? Have you bitten your tongue? When the teeth bites the tongue, do you punish the teeth? Or do you just accept it? क्या करते हैं हम लोग? Accept करते हैं ना? तो ऐसे ही जीवन में, when you cannot punish the teeth just because the teeth has accidentally been bitten by the tongue, and you just move on with the very next bite, and you be more careful. Similarly, in life, if we can start having this principle of the teeth and the tongue, that let me move on. If the teeth says, okay, from tomorrow I will stop biting and stop chewing because the tongue has been bitten, can we sustain? Yes or no? No. We have to move on. Similarly, if we reduce the expectations of a life and accept the current situation, automatically we will have a much better and a much smoother life. Right? Once a person asked another person to translate from Hindi to English. Hindi से English में translate करो. And what did he want to translate? दुख हमेशा साथ रहता है, सुख आते जाता रहता है. We have to translate this in. Okay, let's hear your Hindi to English translation. दुख हमेशा साथ रहता है, सुख आता जाता रहता है. How do you translate this in English?
Our worries stay with us forever.
No. दुख हमेशा साथ रहता है, सुख आता जाता रहता है. We have to translate this from Hindi to English. Wife stays forever, friends keep coming and going. Just joking. Right? Wife stays forever, and friends keep coming and going. No, just joking. No. Grahastha ashram, when a husband and wife is serving the Lord, it is the best ashram. They say between a perfect couple, there is a divine couple. Who is the divine couple? Who is the divine couple?
The one who prays together.
Radha Krishna. So between the perfect couple, there is divine couple. So when we can have Krishna and Radha Rani in the center of our life, then that couple is a perfect couple. What is the second sutra? Live without pretending. What does pretending mean by? Let's try to understand from you. What does word pretending का क्या मतलब होता है?
What we don't have, we try to show.
Trying to be someone else we're not.
Trying to be someone else who we are not. What else? Let's, Romil Prabhu, what do you think? Pretending का क्या मतलब होता है? Acting what we are not. Right? What else? Yogesh Prabhu, what does pretending mean by?
When you show something else and but you are something else inside.
Thank you. Many times in our life, we wear a mask of who we are not. And I was talking about this once, and I said many times we wear a mask of who we are not. And one person from the audience said, Prabhuji, it's not many times, it's most of the times. It is most of the times we wear a mask of actually who we are not. From the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, we understand the first teaching of Bhagavad Gita says we are not this body, we are a spirit soul. हम एक शरीर नहीं, एक आत्मा है. That means we are not Indian, we are not American, we are not Australian, we are not Hindu, we are not Muslims, we are not Christians, We're not Gujaratis or Punjabis. We are a spirit soul, part and parcel of the Lord. Because beneath the skin, it is the same blood, same veins, same flesh, same pain. And the pain is not only in humans. The pain beneath the skin is for all living entities, even for animals. Right? So live without pretending. The first understanding is we are not this body. We are a spirit soul. We are in this body, but we are not this body. We are engaged in this body. हम ये शरीर के अंदर है, हम ये शरीर नहीं है. This is the first understanding of spirituality. This is the first understanding. This is the foundation of spirituality. The moment we say, I'm Hindu, I'm Muslim, I'm Sikh, I'm Isai, then we are not on a spiritual platform. We are on a bodily platform. Because God, Bhagwan ने किसी को Hindu, Muslim नहीं बनाया. Do we all agree with this? No, God has not created Hindu, Muslim, Christian. God has not created. This is all man-made. So when we pretend that who we are not, then we can never be happy. We can never, ever be happy. Right? And we see the whole social media is about pretension. You see Facebook, you see any social media, people, they say smiling faces, crying hearts. Have you heard this? Smiling faces, crying hearts. The heart is hankering for something and the face is pretending something. And this is all the social media is all about. We put our faces of holidays, we put some nice scenery, and we want the people, the world to know that how successful I am. But what is the heart? Heart is crying. Heart is hankering. I used to work for NAB. I worked for NAB for 3 years, and the slogan for NAB is life is about more than money. Who is saying this? NAB, the bank is saying. Life is more than about money. And what are people running for? Money and honey. Money, money, money. पैसे के पीछे भागते हैं क्यों? So that I can prove to the world, I can show my friends and family कि मैंने कुछ कर दिखाया है. सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग? We want to prove to those people how happy and how successful I am when the people are not even worried about us. Nobody cares for us, right? They say that the first 20 years of our life, we thought what people is thinking about us. Teenager में हम हमेशा सोचते थे कि लोग क्या कहेंगे हमारे बारे में, क्या सोच रहे. So first 20 years, we are thinking about what people are thinking about me. The next 20 years of our life, we are so busy that we don't think about anybody because we are busy establishing ourselves. And the third 20 years, we realize nobody ever cared about me anyways. Do we agree with this? Please be honest, yes or no? Yes. कोई कितने लोग हमारी चिंता करते? How many people are really worried about us? How many people are really thinking about us? How many people are really worried about us? So I was speaking about this yesterday, that people in life are hungry, and when they become hungry, how can hunger be satisfied? By food. Correct? जब भूख लगती है, so the hunger has been satisfied by food. And when you give some food, you will be satisfied for 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. खाने के बिना 24 hours भी भूखा रह सकता है आदमी, correct? So we can fulfill our stomach with some food. But people are constantly hungry for possessions, for prestige, for power, for popularity and position. Constantly. What are the 5 P's we just spoke about? Constantly we are hungry for what? Power, possession, prestige, popularity. These are the 5 P's we are constantly hungry for. खाना खा लो 2 घंटा 4 घंटा 6 घंटा पेट भर जाता है, but the mind is constantly hankering for popularity. कितने likes है, कितने comment Facebook पे मिले, कितने लोगों ने share किया. The mind is constantly hankering for power, for position, for prestige, for popularity and position. And as long as the mind is constantly hankering for this, you can write it on your hand or your heart. We can never be happy. We can never be satisfied. Is it making sense, devotees? Can you relate to this? Do we believe this is a problem? I'm happy, like this is not I don't want this to become more of a dialogue. Let's have a monologue. Monologue. I want to have it as a dialogue. If anybody thinks, no, this is not right, please let us know and we'll talk to Krishna to change Bhagavad Gita. Right? Because what I'm speaking is coming from Bhagavad Gita. This is what people are constantly hankering for. And as long as we hanker for these 5 P's, power, position, prestige, popularity, we will have to pretend our life. We will have to pretend. Because what is the second sutra to be simple life? Live without pretending. Live without pretending. And our life, when we look at the 5 P's, is it about pretension or not? Right? Somehow or another, we want to show the world how happy I am, how successful I am. And just to show the world, we change so many things in our life so that people can consider me कि मैं कुछ हूँ. And just to show the world, internally we are always craving and hankering for things. So Bhagavad Gita refutes this fact, and Bhagavad Gita says, simple living, high thinking. Contentment is the biggest wealth. If you are not happy today with what you have, आप लिख लो कि you are never going to be happy with what you're going to get tomorrow. If you're not happy with what we have today, we are never ever going to be happy with what we are trying to endeavor to get it. Because even when you get it, you immediately want something else. दिल मांगे more. किसने बोला है? पेप्सी ने बोला है. दिल मांगे more. The moment you think कि एक बार मेरी गाड़ी अपग्रेड हो जाए ना, from Toyota to Mercedes, मेरी लाइफ सेट हो जाएगी. एक बार वो 3 बेडरूम से 4 बेडरूम के घर पे आ जाऊंगा तो लाइफ सेट हो जाएगी. एक बार PR हो जाएगा तो लाइफ सेट हो जाएगी. एक बार बच्चों की शादी हो जाएगी तो लाइफ सेट हो जाएगी. एक बार मेरा बच्चा ग्रामर स्कूल में चले जाएगा तो लाइफ सेट हो जाएगी. ऐसा किसी का हुआ आज तक? Anybody can vouch and say, I don't want anything else? No, it's never going to happen. As long as we are hankering for things for which we are craving and hankering, a soul can never be happy. Soul can never be happy. Atma kabhi anand se nahi reh sakti because we are hankering for the wrong things. If the fish is taken out of the water, and if you give fish an Emirates business class ticket to Dubai, will the fish be happy? No. Similarly, all of us are fish, and we don't belong to this world. We don't belong to this world. That is the reason we are constantly in anxiety, constantly in stress, constantly in fear. Constantly. It is not that ke ek second nahi, constantly. And this is not only us. Bhagavad Gita में कृष्णा जी बोलते हैं 8th chapter 16th verse में अब्रह्मा भूमना लोका पुनर्अवृतन अर्जुना. From Brahma Loka to Jiva Loka, everybody in all the planetary systems are constantly hankering, and nobody can be happy ever. So this is the second sutra. Let's go to the third sutra. Speak without offending. What does this mean? किसी को बुरा ना लग जाए. Okay, what else? What does speak without offending mean by?
कबीर दोहा is like one कबीर दोहा ऐसी वाणी बोलिए मन का आपा होए और उनको शीतल होए आपको शीतल.
Yes. Speak in such a way that you're happy and others are also happy listening. And
Basically, treat others as you would like to be treated.
that is Bible. Very good. Bible says this. Treat
Yeah, that's
your
Bible.
yes, Bible says this. Treat others the way you like to be treated. What else? Why should do people speak offendingly? Yes or no? Gussa is one thing, yes. The 6-inch of tongue, the 6-inch of muscle can create havoc in the world. There are more pain which the tongue has given rather than wars have given. Do we all agree with this?
Yes.
There's more pain which a tongue can give as compared to the wars which have happened in the world. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter, 15th verse, Anugdevam karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasa chaivan man maya tapa uchate. So very, very clear. Krishna is saying what to speak and how to speak. Krishna is saying Anugdevam karam vakyam. So when you speak, how do you speak? Satyam priyam hitam chayat. So this is the austerity of speech. When we speak, the speech should be satyam. What does satyam mean by? Truthful. Hitam means beneficial. Satyam, hitam, priyam. It should be pleasing to the ears. And it should be based on shastras. So when we speak, we should be speaking based on scriptures, not what you believe and what I believe. Have you heard about this person called as Socrates? A Greek philosopher, Socrates. His wisdom of Socrates is very, very wise. So once someone came running to Socrates and says, Socrates, Socrates, did you hear about John? And Socrates immediately stopped and said, let me do a triple filter test. What is it called? Triple filter test. And he said, what is this triple filter test? He said, I'm going to ask you 3 questions about what you're going to tell me. And if you pass these 3 questions, then I'm happy to listen to it, or else I don't want to listen to it. He said, okay, go for it. So Socrates said, what you're going to tell me about John, is that truth? And immediately that person said, I don't know, but I've heard from someone. मैंने सुना नहीं है, लेकिन मैंने किसी और से सुना है. He said, okay. So you failed the first because I want to understand from you, but you have heard from someone else, so that cannot be right necessarily. Second, what you're going to tell me about John, is it good for me? He said, no. In fact, he said, if it is not good for me, I don't want to hear, because I want to hear what is good for me. Third, he says, what you're going to tell about John to me, is it going to be useful to me? He said, on the contrary, I don't think it's going to be useful to you. Then Socrates immediately said, if it is not good for me, if it is not truthful, and if it is not useful for me, I don't want to hear. Why did I say this? In our life, we hear so many things which are not truthful, which is not beneficial to us, and which is not good for us. Yes or no? And we relish that, we enjoy that, and we pass on the message. हम गुजराती, any Gujaratis over here? No Gujaratis? Delhi प्रभु क्या हो गया? इलेक्शन का टाइम है इंडिया में यार, सब वहीं गए बीजेपी. ओके, मोदी के पास. ओके. In Gujarati, I'm Gujarati by the way. In Gujarati we said पंचायत. पंचायत का मतलब है दुनिया में क्या हो रहा है. We just want to worry about the world because we are not worried about ourselves. We are constantly worried about उसके जीवन में क्या हो रहा है और वो कंट्री में क्या हो रहा है और इसके लाइफ में क्या हो रहा है, because we are not worried about ourselves. I am from Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, outside the bin, I don't know about other cities, in Hyderabad they say, use me. Use me. Similarly, in our life, when you keep both the ears open, people will just use us as a use me bin. Because if we just want gossip, if we just want to entertain gossip, then people will come and talk to us anything and everything under the world. Yes or no? And this is what we typically spend time कि उसके जीवन में क्या हो रहा है and इसके जीवन में क्या हो रहा है, उसके लाइफ में क्या हो रहा है and इसके लाइफ में क्या हो रहा है. So the second or the third most important thing, when we speak, we should speak in such a way that it is truthful, it is useful, and it should be beneficial. We say in management, it is not what you say, it is how you say. It is not what you say, it is how you say. वो इंडिया में ऐड आती थी ना, शादी और तुमसे कभी नहीं, शादी और तुमसे कभी नहीं, पान पसंद. Right? Have you seen that ad? पान पसंद. Same thing you speak, शादी और तुमसे कभी नहीं. And then the guy has a pan pasand, and the same say, he says, शादी और तुमसे कभी नहीं. How we say, when we say, it is very, very, very important. Most of the relationships which are broken, it is because of tongue. Can you relate to this? जो झगड़े होते हैं अक्सर छोटी मोटी चीजों में, it is 70 to 80% of fights or arguments in any relationship which happens, it is because of offensive speech. And Krishna, in one verse in Bhagavad Gita, in one verse, Krishna says, Anugdevam karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasa chaivam man tapa uchate. Tapa means austerity. So it is called austerity of speech. Speech is an austerity. It's not a luxury that we keep talking and talking and talking. People typically दो जने मिलते हैं तो बातें करना शुरू हो जाते हैं. But according to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and any sane man who has a value of his own time, he will respect his time, because time is more important than money. Is time more important than money? Do we all believe? Yes or no? But do we waste time or do we waste money? We waste time.
And we save money.
And we save money. Thank you. Thank you for being honest. We waste time and save money so that we can leave money for someone else when we die. And we leave money for someone who we die so that they don't even care for us most of the time. जितना छोड़ के जाते हैं उसमें झगड़ा हो जाता है. हाँ? मारा मारी, झगड़ा झगड़ी. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine. He came to me 3-4 weeks ago, and he was saying, I came to Australia. मैंने अपने पापा के लिए घर बनाया. I made a house for my dad in Delhi बड़ी मुश्किल से. I came to Australia 10 years ago और पूरा का पूरा घर मेरा भाई ने ले लिया. He made his dad sign the papers in such a way that his dad got tricked into it, and now the whole property has gone out of his hand. This is two brothers. So we save money and lose time. Instead, Bhagavad Gita teaches us swadhyay. Swadhyay means scriptures. I was talking last night only somewhere. How many of us can put our hand on our heart and say that I've read one scripture in my life end to end? That can be Bible, that can be Quran, that can be Gita, that can be any scriptures. Right? Not one hand was raised yesterday. Ek scripture पढ़ा नहीं है. Right? And this is the manual for life. So I've got some books over here, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna books. These are books on spirituality. My request, if you don't have books, please take these books and change your life. Because life is short, and this is the manual for the life. This is the manual for the life. Right? And the last thing, What are the first three things we spoke about? What is the first pillar? Love without expecting. What is the second pillar? Live without pretending. Third pillar? Speak without offending. And the fourth pillar, hear without defending. They say feedback is breakfast for champions. And the moment we get a feedback, what do? We fight. Thank you. We fight. अगर कोई हमें कोई सही चीज बताता है जीवन में, first what we do, we fight कि नहीं, ये मेरे लिए नहीं, आप लोगों के लिए है. When you go to a doctor and doctor says, माता जी आपका आयरन कम है, आपका हेमोग्लोबिन कम है, तो do you fight back to doctor or do you accept that? You accept that. So when someone is giving us a feedback, Prabhu ji, Mata ji, life is short. The purpose of life is something different to what you are thinking, what you are living. And if we defend, if we argue, and if we don't accept, then who is at loss? Not the doctor. Doctor is just giving a report. कि माता जी आपका ब्लड लेवल कम है, आयरन कम है, डायबिटीज ऐसा है, whatever. But if we defend, then we are at loss. So the first thing is hear without defending. Because when we hear, life changes. We all heard about Australia first before coming to Australia, correct? हमने पहले ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बारे में सुना और फिर यहाँ पे आए हैं. Yes or no? We heard about Australia. We heard from people who have visited and they said it is a good country. Please come over here. Right? Freeways अच्छे हैं, traffic नहीं है.
No, we looked at all the cricket matches.
The cricket matches.
Okay.
Go and put it in front of the DPs. भगवान के पास रख दो. Huh? All the cricket matches, right? And we thought MCG में आ गए, right? So the moment we hear something good, most of the time we block our ears and say this is not for me, या बाकी लोगों के लिए है और ये गलत है. Many times we get messages of the Lord, and I was sharing this yesterday also in our Bhakti Viksha, right? That can you hear the ankle bells of Krishna? No. If you can't hear the ankle bells of Krishna, the author of a book called Chaitanya Charitamrita said, if you can't hear the ankle bells of Krishna, your ears are useless. Can you hear the flute of Krishna? If you cannot hear the flute of Krishna, your ears are useless. Can you hear the voice of Krishna? If you cannot hear the voice of Krishna, your ears are useless. But then he says, can you hear the message of Krishna? And if you cannot hear the message of Krishna, he says your life is useless. Your life is useless. तो भगवान के मैसेजेस अलग तरीके से आते हैं अपने जीवन में. But if we don't listen or understand and adapt to those messages in our life, and if we want to continue our own way, rest assured, this rare human form of life will be once again wasted. They say the human form of life is very rare and very auspicious. It is very, very difficult to get Manushya Jeevan. Manushya ka Jeevan milna, it is a rare thing. And if we waste the human form of life once again, because we are defending, we are offending, we are pretending, and we are not accepting the reality, once again, we will waste this rare human form of life. So what is the solution to this? So we spoke about the problem, and in the next 5 minutes, we will speak about a solution, and then we'll open the forum for question answers until we have a special guest coming for Kirtan, right? The solution, the first solution to this, when we go to temple, we should stop going with a shopping list, and we should start going with a service request. What is the first solution? Let's see, checkpoint. What is the first solution?
Going with shopping list, start going with service request.
Stop going. Thank you, Vaishali Mataji. Stop going with shopping list and start going with service request. हम भगवान के पास जाते हैं तो मांग के आते हैं. भगवान ये करके दे, ये करके दे, ये करके दे, ये दे. So we go for a shopping list and give the shopping list to him and say, go fix it. So rather than going to the Lord with a shopping list, we should go with a service request. How can I serve you? McDonald's में जाते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं? How can I serve you? Why? Because the nature of the soul is to serve. Jivera Swarup hoy Krishna na Nitya Das. We are eternal servant of the Lord, and if we don't serve the Lord, then we will serve the dogs, they say. Right? So go from service list to shopping list. Second, shopping list to service. Thank you. Thank you. Here without defending. From shopping list to service list. Second, go. Move your mentality from dharma to devotion. साल में एक बार तो मंदिर जाना होता है, 2 बार कभी कभी चले जाते हैं. मंदिर जाना जरूरी है क्योंकि बच्चों को संस्कार देना है. दैट इज वेरी धार्मिक. मम्मी ने बोला है, दादी ने बोला है कि मेक श्योर यू गो टू टेम्पल दिस टाइम ऑफ द ईयर सो पीपल कम टू टेम्पल. Move from dharma to devotion. So when we have devotion, then we will definitely go to temple, to a mosque, to church, wherever you have your faith in. I'm not telling you to come to the ISKCON temple only. Wherever you have faith, go there. But go there with devotion, not to ask things. Because whatever you ask, you're going to leave behind very soon. Whatever you ask, whatever you get, rest assured we will leave behind very, very soon. It is just matter of time when we are going to leave behind. But if you serve, that becomes yours eternally. Swalpa api apyasya dharmasya. Little service to Krishna or God becomes yours eternally. Third, move from isolating spirituality to integrating spirituality. This is a very, very important point and I'll elaborate. The third solution is move from isolating spirituality. कि कभी कभी चले गए, कभी घर पे किसी को बुला लिया. That is isolating. कभी किया, कभी नहीं किया. कभी खुशी, कभी गम, ताराराम पम पम जैसे, right? कभी बुला लिया, कभी नहीं बुलाया. कभी किया, कभी नहीं किया. Move from isolating to integrating. And what does this mean? I'll explain and then we can stop there for there. Many times people ask, how do we have Krishna in the center of our life? How do we implement to have God in our life? ये होता है ना कई बार कि अभी करूँ क्या? पता है कि समझ गया कि गलत हूँ, लेकिन अभी करे क्या? So level one, from isolating to integrating. The first level is give the first day of your life. Give the first day of your week to the God. Every Sunday, you can come to the temple. That is the first day. Sunday, come to the temple, right? Come with your family, come with your kids. First day, at least in the Hare Krishna temple, we offer free breakfast, free lunch and free dinner for the 40 plus years. Prasadam free hota hai. So come with your family, have prasadam, take the darshan, do aarti, do kirtan and go home. So this is the level one. Offer the first day of your week to the Lord. Level two. Offer your first hour of the day to God. जैसे उठे, pray for half an hour, pray for 1 hour a day. First thing when you get up, pray to the Lord. Because if we don't pray, then we become prey. P-R-A-Y and P-R-E-Y. We become prey of Maya. And the only difference between humans and animals is animals cannot pray. Humans can pray. And if humans don't pray, then they say, Dharmo hi hena pashu bhi samana. It is no worse than an animalistic life. We are just 2-legged animals, they are 4-legged animals. Because the only difference is humans can pray. And if we don't pray, rest assured, our kids will not pray. और ये कंट्री में अगर बच्चों को कार देने में बिजी है और संस्कार नहीं दे रहे, most of the parents are busy in giving big cars, big houses, big, money. And if we don't give the right samskar, everything what we are leaving behind them is going to be of no use. I'll tell you something which, when I heard this, I almost had tears in my eyes. Someone came to Australia 15 years ago, 20 years ago, opened a real estate agent, very high class real estate agent, multiple branches. Now the father loses his wife 5 years ago, and 2 kids are running the business. अपने ही पापा को मेलबर्न में पैसे नहीं देते हैं. The father started the business, the kids took over, and the kids are kicked out the father from the business. Business अपने नाम पे करवा दिया बाप का. The kids have a very, very high loan, and they are telling the father to pay the money. And there's a fight between the father and the kids in Melbourne. And the father comes to me crying, कि क्या करूँ ऐसे बेटे हैं मेरे. 2 sons, the wife had died, the father is alone, इतना पैसा है. And the kids have borrowed money. The kids have borrowed so much of money from so many people that they're putting pressure on the father. Can you sell Indian properties and pay my loan? And the father was crying and saying, देखो क्या जीवन है. जिसको मैंने जान दी वो जान के पीछे पागल है. So if we are trying to think that my car and my properties and my education which we are planning to give to kids, that's going to help them, then that is the biggest illusion in itself. So there should be a component of spirituality. So what is the second level? Pray. Give your first hour of the day to Krishna, to God, whoever you believe. Level 3 is give the first plate to God. घर पे खाना बनाते हो, सब खाना बनाते हो, जिसने सब कुछ दिया है उसको भोग लगाने में क्या प्रॉब्लम है? भगवान खाना खाते हैं. God is a person. So whatever you cook at home, offer it to the Lord. And this is nothing new to most of us. Because if you look at your ancestor, your dadi, dada, or their parents, they have done this. Even today, when I go to my village, my nani, they still do it. They give it, offer it to the God, and then फिर गैया काऊ के लिए और कौवे के लिए भी छोड़ते हैं. Right? So whatever we cook, offer the first plate to the God. But God is vegetarian. He doesn't like to kill. God is vegetarian. He doesn't like to eat non-veg. Right? So we should also be vegetarian. Right? Because this body is a temple. This body is a temple. मनुष्य का जो जीवन है वो भगवान की भक्ति के लिए है. So by we eating meat, we are having this body used as crematorium. Kabrastan बना रहे, right? So this body is meant for as a temple, not as a kabrastan where you're putting dead body, dead meat in your body. So God is a person. Whatever you cook at home, please offer it to Him. This is level 3. Level 4. Whatever you earn, give some portion of your income to the Lord. Lord doesn't want your food and He doesn't want your money, but this is for our purification. अपने पैसे की शुद्धि के लिए हमें करना चाहिए. Then level 5. What was the first level? Let's do a quick check. What is the first level? First day of the week. What is the level 2? First hour of the day. Third level? Thank you, Prabhu. You're very attentive. Thank you so much. First meal. जो घर पे बनाते भोग लगाओ ठाकुर जी को, जिसने सब कुछ दिया है उसे देने में क्या प्रॉब्लम है? Right? What is level 4? Money. Whatever we earn, that doesn't matter. You can earn $1 million or $100. Whatever we earn, give a portion of your income to God, because everything belongs to Him. Level 5. Whatever decision you take, keep Krishna in the center. If I want to go to work, shall I change this job to this job, or shall I take this university or to go to that university, or make this decision or that decision? Level 5, will my decision make Krishna happy? By doing this, will I be far away from the God, or will I come closer to God? If our decision is taking us away from God, then don't take that decision. क्या फायदा है जीवन का? वो जीवन जो भगवान के पास आने के लिए रुकता है, उसका क्या फायदा? And the last decision, अभी का? And the last decision, last level 6, is keep the first place in your heart for God. We have had many people in our heart, and most of the time people in our heart has broken our hearts. The people which we keep in our heart, most of the time, many times they give the most pain. Why not have Krishna in the heart? Why not have God in the heart? So with this note, it's 45 minutes. I'll stop over here. Any comments, corrections, questions? We'll have an open forum discussion for the next 5-10 minutes while we are waiting for the guest. Any questions, comments, corrections? We can have just an open forum. कुछ गलत लगा हो तो you can correct me.
What is the translation? Dukh and Sukh translation.
मैंने बोला ना, दुख हमेशा साथ रहता है, सुख आते जाता रहता है. उसका हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट, हिंदी टू इंग्लिश इज, your wife stays with you and the friends keep going and coming.
Same as opposite as well.
Huh? Opposite as well. Thank you. Husband stays with you and friends goes and come back. Thank you.
Prabhuji, I have a question. You said when we should speak truth, but at the same time we should also speak what is pleasant to everyone.
Correct.
At times it's not the case.
Aryan, can you give the mic?
Like at times that can't be the case for the two to be true. So if we have to choose which way we should go.
Okay, can you, it's a very good question. Can you repeat the question? And Krishna answers this. So I'll answer according to Bhagavad Gita.
The question is that during today's session you mentioned that we should speak the truth, and at the same time the second thing was that it should be pleasant to ears. But what if we're in the situation where it's friends, family or whatever, but we are having to choose between speaking the truth and the truth being pleasant to the one who's going to hear it.
Yeah,
So,
basically सच कड़वा है. Whether
कड़वा सच है.
अगर वो बोलना या नहीं बोलना, that's what
which
she's
aspect
asking.
of it is more important and should take over?
Yeah.
First thing is we should understand the people who we're going to talk, do we have authority on him or not? First chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna didn't speak a word. Aryan, we can hear. First chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna did not speak a word. Why? Because Arjun did not give him authority. Arjun kept on talking and challenging and talking and challenging. Krishna was silent. When Arjun gave him the authority in second chapter, 7th verse, Karpanya dosho upada svabhava prachamitam sarmadev shishyate ham swadhinam prabhu. Shishya. He said, I am your disciple now.
Yeah.
Then Krishna started talking. So many times we talk to people who we don't have authority on. Why waste your time? Second, if by us talking, they are not going to accept us anyways, then don't talk. My brother has given me a formula which is not shastric, but I'll share this with you. I told you what Arjun challenge and connect. We spoke about this in Bhakti Vriksha last night also. So Arjun was challenging, but when he connected to Krishna, when he consulted Krishna, then we talk. Unless people are not consulting us, don't talk. We have many people are from IT background. We charge $2,000 a day to talk. Am I right?
No.
Right?
Very less money.
Less money. I have just signed a PO. I have just signed a PO day before yesterday for $30,000 for 4 days. Thalis. have you heard about a company called Thales?
Yeah.
THA.
Yeah.
$30,000 for 4 days of consulting. Just आके बात करने के लिए. Right? So the point is, don't talk unless we have authority. नहीं तो बोलना waste हो जाता है. I'll tell you what my brother said. I'll tell you in Gujarati. I'm sure you will not understand, then I'll translate in English or Hindi. એક વખત કહેવાનું, બીજી વખત સમજાવવાનું અને ત્રીજી વખત સમજી જવાનું. What does it mean? एक बार बोलने का, दूसरी बार समझाने का,
इसे वो चुप रहने,
तीसरी बार समझ जाने का.
कोई चुप रहने का.
Does that apply to our kids as well?
Mataji, you apply this on your kids or your husband or wife, I can tell you that relationship will be blossoming. I've got teenagers. I have teenagers, I've gone through this phase. एक बार बोलने का, दूसरे बार समझाने का, तीसरी बार समझ जाने का. That is intelligence. We have no time. We are racing in Krishna consciousness towards death. और ये लोगों को सुधारने में चलेगा ना, तो जीवन अपना बिगड़ जाएगा. So one of the most important mantra in life. Can you all repeat this mantra? I live to be corrected.
I live to be corrected.
I
I
live
live
to be corrected. This is the second most important mantra in the life. Typically अपना क्या होता है माताजी? I'll tell you. We are very strict with others and very lenient with ourselves. We are very strict with others and we are very lenient with our own self. Do we accept this?
yeah.
It should be other way around. We should be lenient with others and we should be strict with ourselves. Because we are not strict with ourselves, we try to improve the world and we lose our character. We lose our caliber. But when we are strict with ourselves and when we are lenient with others, then we will never have problems with anybody. And I'll give you another thing. There are two types of argument which we have. We try to judge others, we become judge or we become lawyer. Many times we become judge. Okay, Prabhu, ऐसा नहीं ये करना था. माता जी ऐसा नहीं ये करना था. We become judge. And when people start talking to us, we become lawyers. I am right, Prabhu, you are wrong. And we will do whatever it takes. And have you noticed, and I'm going to ask honestly everybody, have you noticed in an argument, you realize halfway through the argument that you are wrong. Halfway through the argument, you realize you are wrong. And we continue the argument just for our ego. ऐसा होता है या नहीं होता है? मेरे साथ तो हुआ. And I'll confess. Halfway through the argument, एकदम बत्ती बलती है. अरे यार, I'm wrong. But we still want to prove a point because I'm a judge. So it's very, very important. Did I answer your question, Vishali Mataji?
Absolutely.
Good.
That's defending. Again, अगर आप defending में जा रहे हो तो then you are
Correct.
so defending, avoid defending.
Correct. Not give up. Like in life, there's something called beyond right. If you have not taken anything from this discussion, if you just take this one sentence I just called out, there's something called beyond right. कई बार in relationship ये सही है, गलत है. There's something beyond that also. And if you try to look at beyond right, then your life will be right. हम लोग ना, we try to be so judgmental. ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. But there's something called beyond right. And when we have that vision to understand beyond right, then all the small things becomes very small. And there's no fight. Because there's an art of keeping small things small. Keep small things small. And everything is very small. Because matter doesn't matter. Matter doesn't matter. Don't take illusion too seriously. We take illusion too seriously and we accept the reality as बाद में करेंगे. We take illusion very seriously. in life. And Krishna says completely opposite. So matter doesn't matter. Don't take illusion too seriously. We are running towards death. और उसमें उसको सुधारने के ये करेक्ट है वो गलत है. We don't have to fight every battle in our way. Choose your battles wisely. Choose your battles wisely. We are not here to give up. Arjun wanted to give up and he told no, fight. Choose your battles wisely. But Krishna didn't tell Arjun to fight from day one. भीमा को पॉइजन करवाया था, मर्डर करवाया था, कितने बार लक्ष्य ग्रह की आग लगाई थी. Krishna never told to fight. But then when time comes, 100 लुहार की नहीं एक क्या बोलते हैं, एक सुनार की 100 लुहार की, whatever.
100 सुनार की एक लोहार.
आप लोग सब मेरे से इंटेलिजेंट, आप समझ गए. So choose your battles wisely. We try to pick up every small things in life because we don't have a bigger picture in life. But no, if you have a bigger picture in life, then small things become small. Anything else from anybody?
I think in last 20 years or 10 years, changes in the person have come like muft ka gyan nahi baantna.
मुफ्त का ज्ञान नहीं बांटना. हाँ.
And that's what I think your last point was, ki you choose your battle things there. If someone is not ready to listen, nowadays which is more in numbers than anything else. So rather than keep quiet and don't say the things if you don't need to.
Yes. But I was reading this other day. After COVID, every spiritual place in the world, they have grown 300 to 500%, including our ISKCON temple. 300 to 500% growth in people visiting spiritual places after COVID. Any place you take in the world, that can be a church, that can be a mosque, that can be a temple, aapka gurudwara, whatever. You see, before COVID, whatever, right? Bhagwan ka. You take, and this is a reality. People have awakened to the reality of life after COVID. We have the same problem. Our temple is small. Before COVID, we used to have 350 to 400 people maximum on a Saturday and Sunday. Now every week, 1200 लोग आते हैं प्रसादम के लिए. Between 900 to 1200 people are coming Saturday night, Sunday night, afternoon alag. The growth has gone up because people have come to understand the reality of life. COVID has taught a lot. That was the topic. COVID has taught a lot. उसमें लिखा था कि 300 to 500% growth. So can you check the Yogesh? Is that? Oh, perfect. Okay. Any other questions? Comments? My humble request to all of you. I've got very few books over here. Please take these books. There's a small donation just to cover the cost of printing. But take these books and get your kids to read these books, or you read this book. Bhagavad Gita घर पे नहीं है तो ले जाओ. बाकी छोटी छोटी किताबें हैं. Please take it and read it. And if you have it, take it and give it to someone else. इसे शास्त्र दान बोलते हैं. So take it and give it to someone else. ठीक है? Anything else from anybody? Well, we have one more minute and one more question if anybody has a question or comment. No? So the next thing is we'll do a kirtan for next half an hour and then we'll have prasadam around 2 o'clock. So thank you for being a very, very nice audience. Nobody slept, right? While we are waiting for people to come, once 2 people, I'll just quickly summarize this, or say this. Once 2 people go to heaven, और जैसा heaven का door खुलता है, एक बंदा पायलट होता है और जैसा पायलट अंदर जाता है he gets a first class cabin with golden bed sheet and a very nice food. And the second person who goes into heaven, he was a preacher like me and he gets a mat to sleep on the floor. And the guys got confused. He said he's a pilot and मैंने इतना भगवान का नाम प्रचार किया है तो मुझे नीचे क्यों सोने के लिए बोल रहे हो? So he said the first person who was a pilot, he gets a first class bed with a golden bed sheet because his flying was terrible and people started praying because of him. People started praying for him. And you get to sleep on the floor because the moment you started saying, people slept. Right? So at least I see that nobody has slept. I'm not a pilot, but at least I didn't make anybody sleep. So with this, we have a very, very special guest. So we'll let him come over here and do the kirtan for today. Hare Krishna, Krishna